Calling to order the regular meeting of the Wheeling Plan Commission for Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Commissioner Rios.
Here.
Commissioner Meyer.
Here.
Commissioner Casper is absent with previous notice. Commissioner Sprague is here. Commissioner Smart.
Here.
Commissioner Heiken.
Here.
Chairman Johnson.
Here. Ms. Nyes, any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
Citizen concerns and comments? I don't believe we have anybody signed up for that.
No, there's not.
And we have no consent items. So items for review. The first one up is PSP MIN 24-0039. Request for minor site plan approval for a parking lot for K Beauty Koreana at 231 North Milwaukee. Ms. Nyes, I think you have some news on this one.
Well, is anyone here on behalf of this project? No, anyone? Okay, I didn't think so. So we did receive an email earlier this week that the petitioner was unsure if they were going to be able to attend the meeting here. We did try and confirm with them that they were not going to be here, and we did not hear back from them. So I would just recommend that we make a motion to continue to the December 4th Plan Commission meeting.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Smart and Heiken. Commissioner Smart.
Yes.
Commissioner Heiken.
Yes.
Commissioner Rios.
Yes.
Commissioner Meyer.
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Chairman Johnson.
Yes. All right, moving right along. PSU 24-0021, request for special use to permit a religious assembly, Iglesia, Cristiana, Evangelica, Rios de Agua, Viva, at 6200 Capitol Drive. Mr. Secretary?
I have to say that too.
Yes.
Iglesia, Cristiana, Evangelica, Rios de Agua, Via, Lisi seeks special use approval as required under Title 19 zoning of the Wheeling Municipal Code, Chapter 19-07, Industrial Districts, Chapter 1910, Use Regulation and associated sections to permit religious assembly in the I-1 Light Industrial and Office Zoning District for the property located at 6200 Capitol Drive. A special use as defined in the zoning code is a use of parcel of land that requires review and consideration before approval due to the potential for negative impacts on surrounding properties. In order to be considered for a special use, the petitioner is required to demonstrate through testimony to the Plan Commission at a public hearing that the request meets the standards of the village code, including but not limited to how the proposed use will not damage the enjoyment or use of the surrounding properties. Prior to the public hearing, the petitioner provides written statements meant to show that the request meets the standards for a special use as established in Title 19. The commission chairperson will typically direct that these statements be entered into the record without a full reading of them at the hearing. Based upon the testimony and supporting materials submitted, the Plan Commission will make findings in support of or against the petitioner's testimony and report those findings to the village board.
Thank you. Ms. Nyes?
Yes, so this whole property, oops, wrong mouse. This whole property was recently purchased by Emmanuel Community Church, and they were before you earlier this year for a special use approval for the same use, religious assembly. And so they occupy a couple of these buildings, and then there were some prior special uses that also continue to operate in these buildings. One of them is the school, and another one was another religious assembly that had a special use. And so now this church wants, or is currently renting space within this second building here. And we realized that once that Emmanuel Community Church came in to get their business license. So we notified them that they also had to get a business license because each business that operates in the village of Wheeling has to have their own business license and therefore their own special use approval. So they can't go under somebody else's special use approval. So that is why they are here today, and there are two proposed conditions. The first one, they're both very standard and similar to the ones that were placed on Emmanuel Community Church. Number one is within 30 days from granting of a special use, a wheeling business license must be obtained from the Community Development Department. And number two, a wheeling sign permit shall be required prior to the installation of any new signage at the subject property, subject to the requirements of Title 21 signs. And I believe they've already applied for the business license, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe you guys are, or the petitioners here.
Whoever wants to speak, come on up.
You can come up here.
Yeah, I believe
Hold
all
on, hold on a
the,
sec. Hold on.
Before you start, it's a public hearing, so I have to swear you in. So raise your right hand.
sorry,
You swear the testimony you're giving tonight to be the truth.
amen.
And then state your name and business address for the record.
Yeah, my name is Emilia Morales Margosa. The business address 6200
Capitol Drive.
Capitol Drive, Wheeling, sorry.
Okay. So tell us about your church.
Yes, I believe all the informations and documents are being submitted through the owner of the building, and also it was submitted to the Village of Wheeling.
Okay. Is there anything you want to tell us about your church?
We've been renting the area since the previous owner, before this owner. So we don't know how was the status of the building, so, but we were renting and we got a permission from them. At that point, we don't know what's going on. We don't know if that area of the building had permit to be a religious place, so,
Well, it's
and now,
primarily because you're a separate business by how Wheeling looks at it. So that's why you're here.
yeah, I mean, and for me in particular, because this is a religious services, it's not a business, but I know Wheeling, the Village of Wheeling is considered as a business, not as a religion, because we are a non-profit organization.
Right.
So, but I know it's dependent on the code. I don't know much about that. So then at first I said, why we had to do this? And I said, well, that's the rule, is the rules, you know. But at this point, really, we don't know how that operates, since we are not the owners of the building, but we are renting, we are the tenants there, we are renting the area. And so we will obey the rules and regulations, whatever the Village of Wheeling requires in order for us to be renting or being operating.
Is your church related to the one on North Wolf Road that seems like it's the same name?
No,
No?
no,
Okay,
no, we're not related.
okay.
Yeah.
So how long has your church been operating?
For 3 years.
3 years?
We started in a home
Uh-huh.
with like family, but then we started renting a area in Prospect Heights. Then we moved to that location, 6200. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see if the commission has any questions, starting with Commissioner Rios.
Thank you. I don't have any questions. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Meyer?
No questions, no hay más preguntas.
No,
Commissioner Sprague?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no questions.
Commissioner Smart?
I have no questions. Thank you for being here tonight.
And Commissioner Heiken?
No questions. Thank you.
And you've already answered the questions I had, so Marcy already read the conditions. If there's no other questions, a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Smart and Heiken. Commissioner Smart,
Yes.
Commissioner Heiken,
Yes.
Commissioner Riles,
Yes.
Commissioner Meyer,
Yes,
Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Chairman Johnson?
Yes. Relatively painless.
Okay, I'll follow up with you guys tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank
I
you.
mean, it's my first time being here, so I'm learning. I said, okay, well, yeah.
Thank
And I
you.
think Marcy is the one who has been having communication
Yeah.
with the pastor, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to Wheeling. We need a motion to close PSU 240021.
So moved.
Second.
Sprague, Heiken? Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Commissioner Heiken?
Yes.
Commissioner Riles?
Yes.
Commissioner Meyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Smart?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. Okay, and next up, we have PV 24-0018, request for a variation to permit a wall sign on the west facade which does not front a street nor is adjacent to off-street parking area for Northbrook Bank and Trust, 337 West Dundee Road. Mr. Secretary.
A petition by Parvin Claw Sign Company, 165 Two-Way Drive, Carroll Stream, Illinois, 60188, on behalf of Northbrook Bank and Trust Company, leasee, seeking a variation from Title 21, Signs of the Wheeling Municipal Code, Chapter 21.4, wall-mounted signs and associated sections to permit a wall sign on the west facade which does not front a street nor is adjacent to an off-street parking area for the property located at 337 West Dundee Road, Wheeling, Illinois. A zoning variation is intended to be a method of adjustment to equalize regulations where the zoning code has created an unnecessary hardship. A variation is designed to allow affected property owners the same rights and privileges that others enjoy in the same zoning district. In order to be granted a variation, a petitioner is required to demonstrate through the testimony to the Plan Commission at a public hearing that their request meets the standards of the village code, including but not limited to how their individual situation is unique or unusual. Prior to the public hearing, the petitioner provides written statements meant to show that the request for variation meets the standards established in Title 21. The commission chairperson will typically direct that these statements be entered into the record without a full reading of them at the hearing. Based upon the testimony and supporting material submitted, the Plan Commission will make findings in support of or against the petitioner's testimony and report those findings to the village board.
Ms. Nice.
Yes, so we've seen a couple other signs go up on this building, which is right next door, with some other bank signs. But since the code recently changed with regards to wall signs on buildings, we had to just clean this one up, and because there's not an entrance or a parking lot on the west side of this building, it now requires a variation approval to put the sign up. So here it is, on the bottom right hand, you can see the sign.
Okay. Does the petitioner want to come up and say anything about the project? Or did we pretty much cover it?
Good evening.
Gotta swear you in.
Let's bother it.
You swear the testimony you're giving tonight to be the truth,
I do.
and your name and business
Good
address.
evening. My name is Michelle Forries. I'm here on behalf of Parvin Claw Sign Company and the petitioners here from the bank that are here as well. We're representing the 337 West Dundee Wind Trust Wheeling Bank and Trust location. Our request tonight is basically to extend what had been allowed in the past for that same building for the prior two banking tenants that were there, namely to put the sign on the west elevation. We did already seek and had been granted approval for signs on the north, which is the main frontage, and south, which is the portion of the bank that faces to the parking area. But what the bank would prefer to do is, instead of putting the sign on the south, which was already duly granted, to instead show it on this west elevation and only have thus the two signs for the property. The main reason being, along with the fact that there had been one there previously for the other banks, and it helps to identify that that's their drive up. It does have some visibility to the Northgate Parkway Street because of the building setback on Starbucks that is adjacent to them, and Starbucks is actually the one that faces to that street. So we're hoping to get some additional visibility for them.
So you're not putting anything on the south wall?
Yes, our hope is if we are granted this variance that we will not put the sign up on the south, which was permitted, and instead put that sign here on the west.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Got to swear you in. Swear the testimony you're giving tonight to be the truth?
Yes,
Name and business address.
Luke Younger, property manager for Wintrust.
Thank you.
So just one quick correction regarding that. We would like to have all three signs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not
Okay.
to remove the one from the south, but have all three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, sorry.
All right. I don't think we're going to have any questions. Let me just look quickly. Any questions on this? Anyone? Nope. Any conditions, Marcy?
Just the standard condition, a wheeling sign permit shall be applied for and received prior to the installation of all exterior signage, except for signage pursuant to Chapter 21.6 of the Wheeling Sign Code.
All right. That being said, anybody want to make a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Sprague, Meyer. Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Commissioner Meyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Riles?
Yes.
Commissioner Smart?
Yes.
Commissioner Heiken?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes.
Okay, I'll follow up with you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, Commissioners.
you.
Good luck to you.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, motion to close PV 24-0018.
So moved. Second.
Meyer, Smart. Commissioner Meyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Smart?
Yes.
Commissioner Riles?
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Commissioner Heiken?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. All right. Approval of minutes. Approval of minutes of the regular meeting of November 6, 2024, including the finding of fact for docket numbers PSU 240019, PRZ 240003, PSU 240022, and PTA 24001.
So moved.
Second.
Sprague, Meyer. Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Commissioner Meyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Riles?
Yes.
Commissioner Smart?
Yes.
Commissioner Heiken?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. Other business. Ms. Nyes, what do you got?
Nothing.
Nothing. Wait. Commissioner Heiken, anything?
No, nothing from me, thank
Anything
you.
about UPP paddles or anything?
I wasn't going to go there. We'll be here all night.
Commissioner Smart,
Nope, nothing for me.
Commissioner Sprague.
Oh, thank you. I just want to remind everyone about the lighting this coming weekend at, what's that called?
4:30?
Friendship Park.
Friendship Park,
What time is that? 4:30?
4:30,
Yeah.
Sunday, the 24th.
That's all I have.
Visit with Santa, have some hot chocolate, and hopefully stay dry.
Right.
warm. Commissioner Meyer, anything?
Nothing, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Riles?
Nothing, thank you.
All right, well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Meyer, Smart.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Happy Thanksgiving.